senior level, as I told you, the roles in a very junior level, initially few years you will be working on, but the role or the opportunities does not only end there. In the senior level also, we have several opportunities or functions that you can work on. If you go to a slightly senior level, you will be maybe not involved in the detailed design or detailed engineering of everything. You will be looking on a overall wider picture. So in that case, you may be resolving the issues that are escalated by the junior engineers under you, that I told that there may be some issues in the initial design stage, that the junior engineers may face, some data may be missing, or coordinating with the other departments in getting the data or getting the drawing approved, because the drawing approval is also a very important part. Suppose you uh, provide do a design and develop the drawing, and you think that the drawing is okay, but the functionality or the serviceability of the building is not fulfilled in terms of the other department. Maybe there are some problems that may be faced by the electrical department or mechanical department. So you need to cross check your drawings with other departments also. So maybe you can play your role there in doing that step in a faster manner and in an effective manner. And it is a very important part, checking of design calculations prepared by junior engineers. It is, since the safety of structural system is associated with, so safety is a very important aspect in terms of design and the calculation. So it is always better to cross check the design by two persons. So maybe some junior engineers have developed some spreadsheets or some model. So it is always better in the initial stages, because as you go on doing more and more projects in the junior level, you will gain more experience. But in the initial stages, it's very important that you need to check your design and calculations from a senior person. Preparation of design specifications and design basis. These are the some things that are prepared from some intermediate senior level, because there are certain issues that we need to provide there, and it is very important from the project point of view. Suppose what are the codes that will be used, what are the software that will be used. If we do the project, it will be better to do in this software rather than that. So these are all provided in the design specifications. What members we will be using. Means what members means what type of sections we will be using, like role sections or build-up sections, the combination of all those things. So these are all provided in the design specifications, and every point regarding the project needs to be present there. So it is a little more greater experience is required in that. So it is generally prepared at a senior level. So it's also a good function there from the design point of view. Performing design of greater complexity and criticality. As you go on, as I told you that as you work on more projects, you will be gaining more experience. So there are some structures that are maybe highly complex, or maybe are advanced, some advanced theory or concept may be involved there. So generally senior level in combination with the junior levels can do such design of that may involve greater complexity and fidelity. It is also a good option for at the senior level. Now at the top management, now you may be guessing that after the junior level and the senior level, they have done most of the work. So what remains for the top management? So top management in terms of cost, suppose we are undertaking a project We have different cost heads allocated with that. Means how much cost we will encounter for the design part, and how much cost will be there for the drafting part, and if there is 3D modeling also along with that, we have to build the whole 3D model of the plant. So it may also encounter a separate part. So such different cost, we may have different cost hits. So the top management are highly skilled and experienced people there who have had many experience in different projects and had many years of experience. So in that level you get the idea how what may be the you can get an estimate how may be the cost or what can be the financial application. So it helps in that in the top management time schedule. Suppose we can say that for if you have worked in real time on a design part for a long time, you will know that how much time can be associated with designing a particular building of that criticality or that complexity. So that helps the top management in deciding the time schedule and giving the commitment back to the client of delivering the project. So it is the critical job of the time of the top management. These first two points that I told you, the budget and the time schedule, these are the first and the very most critical functions of the top management if you are associated in the analysis and design. Deliverables. Sometimes the top management also decides what will be the deliverables. Means how will be the preparation of the drawings done so that the deliverables sometimes we are charging the client on the basis of number of deliverables. So in that case, the top management decides or looks forward to create the maximum number of deliverables. So how to do that planning effectively, it is done generally at the top management in association with maybe the intermediate senior level or the junior engineers. Tender, as I also told you, tender when it comes out, the top management decides whether to go for that, whether to bid for the tender or not, because maybe the tender is there, so maybe the company have do not have that expertise for undergoing that project, or they may require more manpower. So the top management also gets involved in the bidding of tenders. So tender not only for bidding of the tenders, it also helps them to prepare themselves for the future times if they get the project, then proper recruitment of the effective personnel if they do not have that, or proper recruitment of manpower forces for committing to that project. So the tender stage or the bidding of tender is a very important function of the top management. Project management. In the top management, generally one from the analysis and design do not only see to the analysis and design part. They are on a wider role, have to see the total project management. Means the time schedule is okay, the deliverables are of proper quality, and the work is properly executed at site also. If there are some confusion or some problems at site during the execution of that work from the drawings, so the top management also have to see that the whole work stream proceeds in a very smooth manner, and for that some experience of the site is also required. And so the top management plays a very great role there for this type of project management, where maybe the entire project is given the firm or consultancy on the basis of turnkey projects. That is, you have to also do the design analysis. You have to see the budgeting part of the project. You have to maintain the time schedule, and you have to get the work done properly at site through any contractor. So the project management is a very vast part, and the top management plays a crucial role in that. Workflow examples. So suppose we are doing a high-rise building. We want to design a high-rise building. So what do we need first? As I told you that at a junior level engineer, they first need the basic drawings. We need the drawings. So what type of drawings we need if we design a high-rise building? Obviously, in that case, high-rise buildings are generally found in the commercial sector and in the residential sector. So obviously, we do not need any drawing from electrical or mechanical department. We need basically the drawings from the architecture. That is the architectural drawings. The architectural drawings will be provided by the architects because they will be doing the layout of the building. And so after we get the architectural drawing, we will do a design basis. We'll prepare a design basis in terms of the architectural drawings, and we will use what are the codes and standards that we'll be using. Maybe if it is an Indian project, we will be doing using what are the Indian codes, IS codes that we will be using. Or if it is a project is situated in America or US, then what are the US codes or standards or the national building codes that we will be following. Software to be used. Maybe generally Statpro is used in everywhere, but maybe they want to use, the client may also have sometimes requirement that we use only this type of particular software, not Statpro, some different software. So we have to mention all those clauses in the design basis that we prepare. We have to provide the design specifications. As I told you, we have to provide how much you estimate that the design load will be for the various type of occupancies, what type of sections, maybe what type of sections you will be using, whether it is a steel building or a RCC frame building. So all these things are only decided in the design specifications. Project data for seismic and wind. Generally, there is a meteorological data provided in the design basis. That is, what is the wind speed of that region where the project is to be executed, what is the seismic zone, and what is the type. Even sometimes it is mentioned what type of soil is there, and some basic SBC is also provided there on some basis. So these types of project data are included in the design basis. As I already mentioned, two types of sections to be used, whether a steel building or RCC building. If it is steel, then whether we will be use which type of section, bolt section, built-up section, the combination of both like that. Architectural drawings. Architectural drawings are useful in the preliminary stage for proceeding with the further design, because the architectural drawings give the basic dimensions of the building. You will get the different dimensions that will be used for doing your model or doing the further calculations. The column positions, which is a very important part, as per the layout of the building, you will be fixing the column positions of the building for the proper framing of the structure. Along with the load calculations, there are different finishes like floor finish, wall finish, facades, glass fixings that generally come about in architectural drawing. So this will be helpful in your load calculation for the further engineering. because ultimately our work is to our function is to transfer the load from superstructure to the soil. So the architectural drawings will be very helpful in carrying out these load calculations. Also, the structural arrangement that I told you for the load transfer mechanism, structural arrangement is the most vital and perhaps the most basic thing that you have to do before going on for the preparation of the model. So the structural arrangement is also the architecture and also helps in preparing the structural arrangement for a particular type of building. So after you have done the structural arrangement, you have thought of the structural arrangement and you have done the load calculation maybe. So then you can go for the STAAD.Pro modeling as per the column position, structural arrangement dimensions you have. You will have to apply the load calculations that is there along with the load combinations and the design parameters. It is solely based on the type of codes that you are following, the load combinations and design parameters. If it is a IS code, the design parameters will be something else. If it is according to the European code, the design parameter will be different. So according to that, you have to do. And assigning trial sections, initially for running the STAAD.Pro, you will be assigning some reasonable trial sections. And after that, you have to run the analysis and do trial runs with different sections to reach at optimum design. Optimum design, I mean to say that there will be some margin of safety in the design as well. It will not be too much highly costly. It will be cost effective also, and at the same point, it will also be safe with some margin of safety. So we have to reach a optimum design, and for that we have to do trial runs. Trial runs can also be done using if you prepare standard Excel spreadsheets also by taking the input from the STAAD. You can carry on the further trial design in standard Excel spreadsheets also. And some trial runs can also be done in STAAD.Pro software. So after the trial runs, you reach at the optimum sections, and as I told you, you have to obviously provide the input to the designers for the preparation of the drawings. Checking of such drawings for error-free deliverable, and so what this main thing is, we have discussed all these things, but the thing is that why this you think this course will be helpful or how would it help you? So see, at a graduate level, as you are graduate level engineer, so you maybe have learned lot of theories, lot of codes in your college level or in your institutions. You have had some basic exposure to STAAD.Pro software. So you know all the discrete things, you know the structural analysis in a different subject, you know the design part in a different subject, you know STAAD.Pro. So ultimately, how to start the work from a basic scratch and build up on the model and proceed with the analysis, proceed with the design, proceed with the calculations, and preparing a sufficient or effective design at the end, and preparing the input, which is the very major important part for a engineer to provide to the designer for carrying out the drawing. To coming to that level is a long path. So this course will help you to get an edge in developing that competency and support. And in today's life, the companies are becoming highly competitive. The market is highly competitive, and along with that, the companies are also becoming highly competitive. So companies are mainly focusing uh, on hiring experienced professionals. So if any company wants to hire at a graduate level, so if you have a greater hold or greater working knowledge beforehand, before you are even going to the company and the company experiences that in you, then you have a greater chance of being hired or greater uh, hold of doing further negotiations in your terms of technical expertise. So obviously, this course will play a great role in advancing your knowledge, in building your competency. Means a professional competency for which will be very much helpful in your further career, because I myself have faced this that when you go from a graduate level to you enter a company, initially you have a lot of trouble in grasping these things, means starting how to start a work from a basic drawing that is provided by other department, how to proceed with that, what are the steps that we need to follow, and how to do that in terms of the Statco software, how to do it more in a more faster way, what are the tricks we follow, what are the clauses or codes that we need to have thoroughly in our mind. So what are the concepts that we are using for the arrangement, for the load transfer mechanism? Everything will be covered in this course, and it will help in a great manner